Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Comeback Podcast. This is going to be an NFL podcast. It's going to be kind of a Detroit perspective podcast that we will be doing for the remainder of the season. Who knows, maybe even past that. I am Avery, known as Galaxy across social media, and I'm here with my
Twitterverse.
the Twitterverse. I'm here with my boy. My boy.
I'm Kyle. I'm the co-host here.
Hey,
Of
that's
the
Kyle.
Comeback.
That's Kyle. He's
That
the
is
co-host.
who I am.
Yeah, that's Kyle. He's Kyle. Anyway,
We're going to talk about sport.
yeah, we're gonna talk about the sport ball, and when the sport ball do a thing, we respond. So basically, we're gonna be going over in the first episode the
World Cup.
yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about. So basically,
Oh,
United
we're gonna
States got
talk about
eliminated.
football.
Yeah, I know.
Let's actually start doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're going to just go division by division and just kind of talk about the teams in them.
Yep.
Give some takes on it.
Yep.
And we'll start with the AFC North.
Yay, the AFC
You got anything to
North.
say about the AFC North?
What I gotta say about the AFC North is it's a mess. Like by division, AFC North is so much worse than any other division when it comes to interceptions. It's like actually,
It's hilarious.
I think
Kinda.
it's 11 or 12 more than the second most interceptions in a division.
I mean, yeah.
It's
What?
it's absolutely
Kaiser's
awful.
got 9. What's got 7. Hogan's got 2. Flacco and Dalton have 7 each.
6, something like that.
6 each.
It's not pretty.
It's bad.
Yeah.
The division's not that good either. I mean, you got good defenses with the Ravens, the Bengals. I don't really get the Bengals. They've got some explosive players on offense, but can't seem to get anything going.
Right.
I still like the Steelers to win this division.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger's been struggling a little bit, but I mean, you look. It's not your quarterback's your most important position, but it's not just about Ben Roethlisberger ultimately.
Right.
And when your team's got Le'Veon Bell, and the second place team has an injured Terrence West as their running back, and your team also has Antonio Brown, and I mean the Steelers just have the advantage here. Ultimately, I can't really see how they'd lose. I mean, not that it's impossible because the Ravens do look good, but I definitely pick the Steelers pretty confidently.
Yep, I think the Steelers should win this division too. I mean, it's kind of tough picking them to win the division or getting very far into the playoffs when your losses are against the Bears and the Jaguars. But the Jaguars could be good.
The
We don't really
Jaguars,
know.
we don't really know yet with the
Anyway,
Jaguars.
but nevertheless, the Steelers should win this division. The Ravens could end up winning it. I can't see the Bengals could be like a. The Bengals could win.
They have the talent to make a run, but I wouldn't expect it. It would surprise me.
Yeah.
I'd be able to explain it, but not expect it. Basically,
Well, you know,
the Browns are done.
Yeah, the
I
Browns.
hate
The,
to
Brown,
break
the
it to
Browns
Browns
suck.
fans,
They're not
but
good.
quarterback issues, everything issues with the Browns.
Yeah, it's just not pretty. Browns are weak. Bengals could make a run, but at this moment, I don't expect them to. I think they're kind of like an underrated dark horse to win that division. But nevertheless, no matter what team you are in this division, I don't see you winning a playoff game. And I only see one team from this division getting into the playoff.
I don't think it's impossible for the Steelers, depending on who they have to play, because they have losses because Big Ben has been bad, but he is still Big Ben, and we might see
Is he
shadows.
really Big Ben though?
We might see shadows of him for his former self.
Yeah.
Because
I know.
mean, ultimately, good quarterbacks they get worse in their career, but they never really fully lose what they had.
Right.
Like when Peyton Manning had his injuries, and he still saw flashes of Peyton Manning.
Right.
When Dante Culpepper played for the Lions, we still saw flashes of Dante Culpepper. That one might be a stretch, but
yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch. I don't know.
yeah.
Big Ben.
You know what?
He
is
said
not
he said he wants to
stretch?
retire. He said he wants to
Talking
retire.
about the AFC. Yeah, he's probably gonna retire. We should talk about the AFC South because that's a fun division.
That's gay division.
You can't say that. We got to be family friendly.
Well,
The AFC South.
know about homosexuality.
No, this is a podcast about football.
Oh,
This isn't
wow.
Lacey Green.
I wasn't even made aware of that. What the frick?
All right. Let's keep it classy.
All right, respect.
You can't talk about the AFC South without talking about the blast that the Jacksonville Jaguars have been.
The Jaguars
I mean,
are weird.
Leonard Fournette. I saw an article today that during a run he yelled to a defender to bring it on and come hit him.
Yeah,
This
I
dude
saw that too.
he's really been overshadowed because of a couple other great rookies, like most notably Kareem Hunt, but he's not the only one.
Yeah,
But I mean, he's just great. Leonard
he's good.
Fournette. He's really great. Blake Bortles, still Blake Bortles, but a slightly better version of Blake Bortles. He's gone from being a Blake Bortles to being like a average quarterback. I don't know who I'm trying to compare him to. Maybe like a worse Andy Dalton. I really don't know. But he's not as bad as previous Blake Bortles. The Twitter account Blake Bortles Facts is sort of not looking that much like a joke anymore.
I know. He's actually only blank yards
Yeah.
away from beating all passer records ever.
Yeah. The Texans and the Titans are both teams that still could beat the Jaguars for this division.
Deshaun Watson. looks
Deshaun
like a
Watson,
monster.
he's the real deal. This is the best, maybe the best player in the draft. Kareem Hunt really is his competition.
Yeah.
The Titans, it's gonna come down a lot to Mariota. He's got to carry a lot of weight on the passing offense. I mean, the receivers are okay, but he kind of is the guy to make him better. And
Yeah, I agree.
I thought this was gonna be his breakout year. He's been good, but he hasn't really had the year I was expecting. There's still time.
The Titans are just kind of underperforming across the board on what I expected
They
them
are.
to be.
Their running game is still great.
That's true.
The Colts.
Exotic
the Colts shouldn't
smash
have 2
mouth.
wins. The Colts shouldn't have 2 wins. All right, let's move on. I mean, I don't want to get into the Colts. I think that they suck. I like T.Y. Hilton though.
Yeah.
He's on the fantasy team. So, next up, the AFC East.
The AFC East.
The Patriots division to
division.
lose.
Yep. That's the one.
The Patriots division to lose,
Oh, frick.
and I think shocking a lot of people, they aren't well ahead of everybody in here because
Nope.
the Bills and the Jets.
The freaking Jets.
The Bills have a better point differential, and the Jets have the same record, and so do the Bills. I like the Bills. I don't like them to win a playoff game,
No.
or I don't really even like them to get to the playoffs that much.
They lost to the
But-
Bengals.
They can get in as a wild card. It's not impossible.
It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, it's not impossible, but there's better wild card candidates.
Like
I think one of those
all
AFC
of
South
the
and AFC
AFC
West teams,
All of the AFC West, for example.
except the Chargers.
Except the Chargers.
I wouldn't write off the Raiders yet, but I'm getting close. The Dolphins, I mean,
The Dolphins
Jay
are
Cutler.
bad.
Jay Cutler, I mean,
Honestly, I was expecting them. I thought there were definite chance that the Dolphins would get into the playoffs in a wild card.
yeah,
bid.
if Tannehill was still there.
Right now, even
Cutler.
with Cutler, I'm like, I don't even think they'll be that bad with Cutler. I was wrong. I don't know.
I'm a big Cutler hater.
I did not learn anything. I mean, I loved Cutler in Chicago because he played for Chicago and we got to beat him.
Yeah. If he played for Detroit, I don't. Either of us would have loved
No,
him. But
if he played for Detroit, I would not be here right now.
let's move on to the West.
All right, the West. Yes,
The West is great. I mean,
The West
you've got
is exciting.
3. You've got 2 teams that I would almost guarantee to put in the playoffs,
Yeah,
and 1 team that might even still have a chance, and that's the Raiders.
yeah. I wouldn't count
The
the Raiders
Chiefs.
out.
Everyone knows about the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt is a superstar, having one of the best rookie seasons for a running
Yeah.
back we've ever seen. But he's on pace for it to be statistically better than Zeke. And Zeke's rookie season was at
Really
one point on
good.
pace to be statistically better than Eric Dickerson's. So that's really says how crazy of a season Kareem Hunt is having. Alex Smith is having career year. The Broncos defense is still the Broncos defense, one of the
they've
best in
gained-
the league. I don't know if it's the best, but
They've
it's one of the
gained
best.
a pass rush. Like they always have had that elite defensive back. Like the backfield has been so
Talib
good.
and Harris.
But it's like other than Von Miller, they didn't have much of a pass rush, and they've kind of gained a pass rush out in Denver. And it's like they could be like, I mean, look how much they beat the Dallas Cowboys by. I understand the Cowboys aren't as good as they were last year. I don't know why. I mean, they haven't really changed much roster wise, but they still demolished. Like, you hold Ezekiel Elliott to 8 yards on 9 carries. I think
Insane.
that's what it was. That's
It was 8 yards and
insane.
9 carries. Yeah.
That's
That's
insane.
ridiculous.
And
And I mean the Raiders. I've been really disappointed in the Raiders.
the Raiders have not showed up to the playing field that I think they should be at. Um,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know.
There's, I
It's
don't know.
so
The
odd.
talent there is so much better than how they've been playing. Amari Cooper has been atrocious. There's
He
no
hasn't
other
been good.
word. He's been.
You would know. He's on your
I
fantasy
don't
team.
know. Yeah, he's on my. He won't. I tried to get rid of him for Will Fuller, but someone else beat me to that waiver claim. Um, but yeah, I don't get the Raiders because Carr was having a borderline MVP or an MVP candidate season last year, and now he's been pretty bad this year.
He has not been good yet this year.
Cooper, I thought into the season was it. His job was very split with Crabtree.
I agree.
Previously, I thought this was going to be where he comes up and proves that he is the wide receiver, and that Crabtree's the wide receiver too.
Yep.
But the opposite has happened. Cooper's been so bad that even though Crabtree hasn't had, Crabtree's had a good year, but even though it hasn't been that great of a year, Crabtree's now the one that's established as wide receiver 1 because Cooper's
yeah.
been so bad. Cooper is almost about to fall to wide receiver 3. I mean, maybe that's not. I mean,
he's being targeted.
he
less
won't
than
fall there
Cook.
on the depth chart, but that's how he's being targeted as a wide receiver 3.
Because Cook. You know.
He's just been terrible. What about Cook?
Cook's been targeted around the same.
It's
amount as
it's
Crabtree.
EJ Manuel. Oh, you mean Jared Cook? I thought you
Yeah,
meant Connor.
I don't mean Connor Cook. I don't mean that guy. I mean
Yeah,
the Cook
Jared
that plays
Cook.
tight end.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The Chargers should move.
The Chargers are
Chargers.
a joke.
I don't like Dean Spanos, even though I don't care about the Chargers. I feel bad for San Diego residents that liked the Chargers. I feel bad for Chargers legends like LT.
I agree.
feel anyone that has anything to do with the Chargers, I feel bad for because you watched your decently. I mean, San Diego wasn't a Chargers obsessed city. They're not Green Bay the way Green Bay or
Nope.
Pittsburgh is over their teams,
Uh-uh.
but they liked the Chargers in San Diego. The attendance wasn't the best, but it was reasonable.
It's better
And
than
they
it is
move into
now.
this LA soccer stadium where nobody cares about them.
Right.
Nobody that lives in LA likes the Chargers, except
Nope.
for there might be like 3 people in LA likes the Chargers. I mean,
I
there
mean-
aren't that many people in LA that even like football,
Yeah, I know.
and the ones that do like the Rams.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's so
it's
bad.
a terrible situation.
It's so. I
The
feel
NFL
so
should
bad.
strongly consider forcing them to move back.
They won't do it, but I definitely would agree. I feel bad for the Chargers. I feel bad for everybody that has anything to do with the Chargers, like you said. It was an idiot decision to move it to LA. They could have moved to other places, and
There's a lot of cities that could go for football teams, but they see the Rams not succeeding in LA, and they're like, let's move there into a soccer stadium, into the city with already a football team, and that football team's what market do they think they're going to capture? They should have gone. There's how many? I could name off so many big cities that don't have football teams.
Yeah, I know. It's just they kind of wanted to stay close to home. I understand. I don't
Yeah.
understand at the same time. I feel bad. They're playing 16 away games this year. Their stadium is always taken over by the opposing team. It's depressing.
It's
To the point that when you miss a game-winning field goal, you're gonna set off confetti cannons in your stadium. That's so
it's a
depressing.
pretty sad story.
That's
Um,
pretty depressing.
And I know it was just a mistake, but it really just kind of goes to show how much they're at such a disadvantage playing 16 away games, basically. The only thing home
Totally.
about them is they get to wear the jerseys, which, by the way, they need to make the powder blues their home jerseys because those look a lot better than their regular home jerseys.
Powder blues are really nice.
The powder blues are great. If you're a Chargers fan, if you got into the Chargers when you were a kid, watching LT and just watching them tear up, I feel so bad for you
I know.
because that's just like having your childhood ripped away.
They're not even a bad football team. Like, they're really not, but it's just like they can't.
Their record is bad, but like they've got the talent to have a better record than they do.
They have just been struck with the switch
They've
of
been in bad situation.
disluck. Unlucky.
And Young Ho Koo didn't help.
The boy.
That's for sure.
Rest in peace, the Young Ho era. That was long lived.
The Chargers, cut Nick Novak for Josh Lambo because Josh Lambo had a good rookie season. Then they cut Josh Lambo for Young Hoku. And then they cut Young Hoku for Nick Novak.
Recycling.
Honestly. Josh Lambo, does he have a job?
I don't think so.
Maybe he's.
I can't remember who got a
the
job.
Buccaneers should look at Tampa.
The Buccaneers
got a
already
job
signed a
Tampa?
kicker. I forgot
Do
who
you know
it
who?
was. It wasn't
I'll
Young
look it
Ho.
up later.
I would have remembered if it was.
I would have thought Lambo would be a good bet, unless something happened to him. I don't even know why they cut him. I never really heard much about it. But that's I could go on about the Chargers for a while in StubHub Stadium, but let's just move on from that.
Yep. On to the NFC, the National Football Conference, where we're starting with the
We
NFC
get to start with
North.
my absolute favorite team.
Oh, yay.
A team that I love and a team that only grants me happiness, and that's the Green Bay Packers.
Well, I mean,
Just kidding. I do not like the Green Bay Packers, and I don't like when they throw Hail Marys.
All right. I know this is a family-friendly show, but is it appropriate for me to call the Packers gay?
No.
What?
You can't say that. I know it's the Packers,
What am I supposed to call them?
but that's just you're supposed to call them.
Poopy heads.
No, that's not family friendly. I don't know. Call them
Not fun.
not fun.
The
I
not-
like that's
They are the Packers are the not fun team.
okay.
They make me angry.
Let me say about the Packers this year. I've got as much as I don't like them. So much respect for Aaron Rodgers.
He's too good.
His throw to Devontae Adams was perfect. He couldn't have thrown the ball better in a million attempts. It was perfect, and he does that so much.
Mhm.
And I don't want to sound like Joe Buck,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of respect for Aaron Rodgers. As much as I don't like his team, and as much as I don't like when he throws Hail Marys after flopping on a fake face mask, but
Yep, that happened.
all right. And
as
then
for
we
the
get
rest
to
of
move
the
on to the
division?
team that brings me misery. Or yeah, we should just be talking about the division. Take too long to go team by team. We discovered that a while ago. But the Lions and Vikings, I'll pair up. I definitely think the Lions are better than the Vikings.
It should be.
Both potential playoff teams, but with Delvin hurt, I don't like the Vikings odds at all.
Latavius was going big. Wait, well, it was Murray, right?
No, it was
Latav-
McKinnon.
I always forget that. It was McKinnon.
Yeah.
McKinnon was going hard against the Bears. I was watching that.
He
But
did.
then again, the Bears running backs are going hard against the Vikings with the Bears running
And
backs.
it's also
good.
the Bears.
The Bears, yeah. The Bears have such a one-dimensional attack.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Lions odds of the playoffs. I think Matthew Stafford's great. I think that they've got some
GOAT.
good young talent on that team. Jared Davis is. I'm a big fan of him. Big fan of Kenny Galladay. Excited to maybe have him back against the Saints.
Yep. Hopefully,
Um,
we need him.
Big Bob Quinn, man. I just
Who
can't get enough Bob Quinn.
who are we going to get in at defensive tackle?
We just signed 2 guys.
Okay, but they're like practice squad guys.
So I know, but we signed like a former Packers first round pick and then someone else, and then there's Ashawn Robinson. I mean, I like our ends, Ansa and Zettel.
I do like that too.
I don't know.
It's just like with
There's a depth issue.
with
and
Nada
I-
out
I'm
now.
not-
Oh
yeah, it's pretty gross.
yeah.
Ashawn's had a good couple seasons in the league, though. Great,
It's just gonna be even
great
tougher.
run stopping guy.
It's gonna be even tougher now that we don't have Nada.
Yeah,
on.
he's actually, I would say, gonna need to step up. A lot of people lose.
Such
A lot of people taking this opportunity to rant about how he drafted Ebron over
Mhm.
Aaron Donald, but
Ebron's trying.
honestly, because people are like, "Oh, they should have known Aaron Donald because
It was-
we were gonna go, because we knew Sue was gonna leave, but they signed Nada." So I don't know. I don't get that specific complaint.
Mhm.
Ebron, man, he frustrates me, but I read an article saying that he was like this week going to Stafford to get like some extra help. if he actually cares about improving his game and not being little of the bust, and he's doing the things to make sure that his career stays on track or gets back on track, then I can respect that.
Yeah, Ebron has the physical ability to do it, but he just hasn't found the hands yet. I think he can be good, and I think he can play tight end at an elite level.
His
but
time is running low.
He needs to do it. If he wants to make that happen, he needs to do it quick because everybody is losing faith in this man. I've given him a pass. I've given him
passes for a long time,
but it's getting old.
The drop against the Panthers
that could have completely changed the flow of the game.
I get that it wasn't the easiest catch with the slight tip that changed the trajectory a little bit, but I can name 31 other starting tight ends that'll make that catch 9 times out of 10.
I mean, I wouldn't name 31, but I could name
maybe not 31, but a good amount.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good tight ends in this league drafted lower than Ebron.
I agree.
He should be able to make that catch.
Yeah.
But I will say, if he's going to get extra help and to improve his game and to do what it takes to make sure that his career stays on track, I can respect that. Even if I think he was taken too high, I'm not.
You can't change the past.
If he's taking the steps, good on him, and I'm glad to have him on the football team. If he's taking those steps.
No matter what you do, you can't change the past. Complaining about it can only do bad. He knows that people don't like that he was taken before all these guys. He's aware of that. That doesn't help.
You know what? He seems to like being a Lion, and I can't speak for him, but just based off his Twitter, he's usually until recently when he was kind of getting mad at people on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He always stuck up for his teammates when he was getting at it with Landon Collins.
Yeah, I know. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, you know what? He's a guy that as long as he doesn't have any major mistakes like that, for the rest of the year, one or two more drops won't kill us, but major mistakes,
missing another touchdown pass is crucial.
Something like that. Something like that. As long as there's nothing like that, I'll be glad.
Yep, I agree.
The Bears, Trubisky's really all there is to say about the Bears. They got a ride or die with him. Jordan Howard.
No way you start Glennon the rest of the year. There's just no way.
No, Glennon shouldn't. Unless Trubisky gets hurt, Glennon shouldn't see the field.
Nope.
Glennon's a career backup. I hate to say it. Because he's almost a little bit too good to be a backup, but not good enough to be a starter. He's in this dead zone.
It's depressing to be that guy.
And I think that's comparable to someone like
Josh McCown.
Brian Hoyer, Josh McCown, in this dead Ryan Fitzpatrick of this in this dead zone of being a little too good to be a backup, but a little too bad to be a starter.
Yeah,
and that's where Glennon sits. And Glennon's making way too much money for that area, which is gonna kill the Bears. But regardless of that money, it's set your watch to Trubisky time because it's Trubisky time.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Trubisky once. Numbers weren't the best, but the film did show a few things that that Bears fans can be excited for. It showed some great speed, showed the ability to make good reads, missed some of his throws, but showed that he did have the ability to make the throw.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He's got great mobility in the pocket.
Give him a few games. He's really good throwing on the run too. He's pretty accurate on the run, despite his You wouldn't know that from the stats. He completed 48% of his passes or something. It was really bad.
Yeah.
But he made a few plays where he was running a bootleg or scrambling out of the pocket, and he just landed a strike.
Yeah.
And that's a rare skill. So
the Bears pulled out a couple of trick plays on Sunday that I really liked. I was like, that's cool to see trick plays again because that's typically the Rams thing. But
the Rams are kind of known for it. The Bears playoff hopes are not good, so
they're not very good. All right, moving on to the NFC South. We got a very competitive division, probably the best division.
One of the best divisions in football.
I think
second best in football, best in the NFC.
I think the Panthers are the team to beat in this division right now. I know that might be coming. My bias might have rubbed off on them, but they exposed us on Sunday. Sure, the score doesn't show that, but there was a lot of...
Yeah, they did. Matthew Stafford did this little let's make their win look less impressive sort of thing.
Yeah, I know.
they ripped off a couple of huge plays. The receivers
That tight end.
just really
Dixon.
used their size advantage. Yeah, they looked great. Newton looked more like MVP Newton than he did like 2016 Newton.
Yeah.
The
They got
Falcons still look good. I mean,
they get
they
Vic
could win
Beasley
this division
back.
just as easily. Yeah, I really can't really choose between these two teams. You lean towards the Panthers. I think I might lean towards the Falcons as the team to beat.
Yeah.
The Saints I don't think can make the playoffs, but I mean
Nah.
the Saints. I mean,
The
a lot of
Saints,
respect.
if the
lot
Saints
of respect
defense
to
gets
Drew Brees.
better, they can make the playoffs.
Not this year.
Um,
Though.
They're gonna. This division's good. Like it's got a lot of depth all around. Like I can see the Saints going 8-8. I think that's more closer to the peak of their possible record, but I think it's possible.
I think they'll win 7.
Likewise, I can see the Buccaneers winning 8, maybe slightly more.
I think the Buccaneers have the talent on their roster to win 10 or 11, but I don't think they will.
Yeah,
I think they'll win 8 or 9.
yeah. The Buccaneers definitely have talent. They have
A lot of teams here can make the playoffs.
really good wide receivers. The Buccaneers have Deshaun Jackson, who's definitely a wide receiver 1, and then they have Mike Evans.
No, Mike Evans is wide receiver.
I know Mike Evans is a wide receiver 1, and I know Deshaun Jackson plays wide
Oh,
receiver
like
2
they
on
have
this
two
team,
talent.
but he could be on another team and he could play wide receiver 1 because Deshaun Jackson's a good
Yeah,
receiver.
give Jameis Winston a lot of stuff to work with.
And they have that.
Um,
What's their tight end's name? That's become Winston's one of his favorite targets. Ugh, I can't remember his name. 84.
Is it Cameron Bright?
Brait? That's the one. And then
Yeah,
they have
okay.
they have Dougie Martin,
Muscle Hamster.
Muscle Hamster. Yeah.
Great name.
The Buccaneers. They could be good. They could not.
Don't write them off for the playoffs, but don't put them in there either. It's
They
just there's a blank space that they could fit into.
They remind me of a Falcons light, the way they've built their team with a high-powered offense that's just not quite as good as the Falcons, and they have a decent, underrated, sneaky defense that's just not quite as good as the Falcons.
Yeah,
either.
there's a few talented players on that defense, but it's not
It's like a
quite.
it's like a
enough.
speedy defense. It's not. It's like exactly, and I think in almost every aspect like a Falcons light. Like they're trying to do what the Falcons are doing, not quite as good, but it's still good enough. They have like a winning recipe. They just don't have the. They're using great value.
They don't have
ingredients.
all the tools. They really just
Well,
add a few defensive tools. The offense, I think, has the tools. There's a little,
Mhm.
but onto the NFC East, which is a really fun division to talk about.
They're
The Giants, I kind of feel bad for them. I don't really like the Giants
DRC left.
that much.
Did you see that? DRC? Roger
He did?
Scromarty? Yeah, he like got suspended by the team and then he's like, I'm leaving. I don't care anymore. This
So
team
did he quit football or he retire from the Giants?
I don't think I don't know, honestly. He's like, I quit. He said I don't think he's gonna be playing anymore this season.
So he's still, that hurts them so bad because he's still under contract, right?
Yeah.
Either trade him or just let him sit at home and pay him.
This team this reminds me, okay.
Huge hit.
Going into the
I never heard
2008 season, nobody expected the Lions to go 0-16. They had just come off a 7-9 season and were looking up. Think people were predicting them to make the playoffs. They fell
They're
apart.
not Owens. This team's defense is too good to go 0-16.
They're having a morale breakdown. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
They're
Their
having
offense
the coach
is
has lost the
dead.
locker room.
If the Giants offense scores more than 20 again this year, I'll be surprised. They have no receivers. They have an old Eli Manning. Their number one offensive player is rookie Evan Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
They have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. This is with all three of those receivers hurt. This is the league's worst offense. It is worse than the Browns' offense.
It's not
Because at
good.
least you have Crowell on the Browns' offense,
I
and at least you have Joe Thomas.
I feel
Wow.
so bad for this Giants team because they were supposed to be good. The coach
Yeah.
McAdoo has lost the locker room, and their morale is dropping faster
Yeah.
than Ebron drops a pass. It's so, ugh. I don't know.
I can't see this team doing any scoring. I think that without those injuries, actually probably a top half off. But with those injuries, it's hard to say any offense is worse than them.
Mm-hmm.
The lowest scoring offense is the Bengals. No, it's not the Bengals. The lowest scoring offense is the Dolphins. But they definitely have the potential to snap and go drop 30, 40 on you. Maybe not 40, but high 30s on you in a game with Jarvis Landry, Devontae Parker, Jay Ajayi. It's really just Jay Cutler's a little bit of the problem.
Yeah, I know.
But the Giants, they don't have that potential anymore. The
No.
only way they snap is if Evan Engram has the greatest.
Yeah, the greatest game. Oh, I feel bad for the Giants, but other than them, I mean,
feel bad for
the
the fans.
Cowboys haven't shown up yet this season. I know they can.
No, there's talent there. They can still win. Don't write them off for the playoffs, but
They've had some.
don't
tough
write
teams
them off for
they
the
played.
playoffs because they've played tough teams, but they've looked subpar for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
the Eagles have looked great, better than people thought, and I think the same thing about the Redskins, even though they're 2-2.
The
They definitely look
Redskins-
better than people thought. Terrell Pryor has been a pretty pleasant surprise. Kirk Cousins is just proving himself again because every year he needs to prove himself and nobody believes him.
Yep.
So
The Redskins are the second
every
best
year
team in
for
that
Kirk
division.
Cousins is to prove yourself here.
I know.
Because
It's
everyone's
kinda
like,
sad.
oh, he had a QBR of 110 and 30 touchdowns and 5 at picks, but it was system. He had Pierre Garcon, he had Deshaun Jackson, whatever. Next year he does it again, and it's still a prove yourself year.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish people would just. Kirk Cousins, he's not Tom Brady, but he's a good quarterback. Just accept that he's a good.
Yeah, with Kirk Cousins, I like him a lot. I wish he didn't play in the NFC so I could actually cheer for him because kind of a hometown hero. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if he stays in Washington after this season. I don't know if they'll be able to corral him to sign a contract, sign
I
a
think
franchise
that-
tag, because they
I
might
think
have
Kyle
to do it again.
Shanahan really wants
I would be
Kyle
okay
Shanahan and
with that.
John Lynch.
I'd be okay with
I
that.
don't really like the Niners as a huge Kirk Cousins fan, with him being from
Yeah.
our hometown and playing for Michigan State and everything like that. I've always just been a follower of Kirk Cousins, a huge fan of him. But I don't really like the 49ers. I definitely still root for him, but I mean,
Yeah.
Well, the Redskins too. I mean, like, I kind of like the team, but I don't. I mean, there's big controversy with everyone hates Dan Schneider. People call him one of the worst owners in the league.
Yeah.
And let me actually make this and the
FedEx
racism
is
thing.
garbage.
FedEx, yeah, the field is old, and but I like the team
Yeah.
still. I'm going to tell you right now why Dan Snyder, and I didn't act. This is credit to who's this credit to? I think SB Nation. I think it was on their YouTube channel.
Mhm.
They were like trying to make the worst football team ever
Mhm.
based on like historical play, and they said that they were talking about who the worst owner ever was, and they brought up Dan Snyder, but then someone said, at least he actually likes the team. The Browns owner is a Steelers fan, and apparently the Browns owner to own a stake in the Steelers, and he wanted to own his own team, so he just went and picked up their one of their biggest rivals, which I find hilarious.
Yeah.
So next time you knock Dan Schneider, you have every right to knock Dan Schneider because he's pretty horrible, but at least he's a fan of the Redskins.
Yeah, and he's a supporter of the team. The Eagles have looked really good. Redskins
Dan Snyder
have
made
not looked that
stuff that
bad.
he likes. The Eagles have been a pleasant surprise. The Eagles have been and the Giants have been the opposites because the Giants have been the ultimate disappointment and the Eagles have been the ultimate pleasant surprise.
I mean, I'd consider the Rams to be a pretty good surprise. Which, speaking of,
Yeah, in the Jaguars. Yeah, but speaking of, it's NFC West time, our last division.
woo,
So there's some. I mean, other than the Rams, there's not a lot to talk about here because the Rams, Sean McVay is obviously awesome.
the Rams
Jared
are
Goff looks like a first overall pick.
exciting.
Jared Goff looks like a first overall pick. Todd Gurley looks great, and they do a lot of scoregami, and I like me some scoregami.
I like me some scoregami as well.
The Cardinals, little disappointing. We'll see what Adrian Peterson does for them.
Mhm.
I think this is what we expected from the 49ers.
Mhm. I
don't think
them to
that
be a little
they're-
better.
Yeah, there's 3 teams without a win in the league, and I don't think they're the worst of the 3. They might actually be the Giants. If it wasn't for the injuries, I'd say the Giants are the best of the 3. But with the injuries, I think the Niners might be the best of the 3.
I would consider
They played the Rams
better than
really
Giants right
close.
now. But yes, I would consider the Niners to be the best of the 3. I think the 49ers, I thought they were going to be pretty good. I
I didn't think they were going to be good, but I
I
thought
just
they'd
like,
win
looked
like
at
4
the
or 5
roster.
games.
I'm like, okay, they added this guy, drafted, had some good draft picks, got 2 first rounders, 2 like they did what the Jaguars did last year with their draft
Yeah.
picks, and got a
And
guy that
Carlos
was like
Hyde looks good.
controversial, and was like, yeah, let's take him in the second round or the late first round is what it was, and they got
Miles
2 really
Jack.
good players. Well, it was Miles Jack, but it was Solomon Thomas. I think that's his name. That was Solomon Thomas was their
Yeah.
first pick, and then it was Reuben Foster was their second.
Oh
pick.
yeah, wait, they ever?
They got Reuben Foster, and everybody was like,
Oh, I'm mixing Reuben Foster up with someone else. Yeah, okay.
I was like, oh shoot, like I was like that's a great addition. I watched him play in the preseason. Of course, never make sweeping judgments from the preseason because the preseason is jacked and not good.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, I mean Trubisky looked like freaking Joe Montana in the preseason.
yeah.
Not that Trubisky can't be good, but I don't think he's going to be that good.
Right. The Seahawks, their offense is tragic.
The Seahawks are the same team they've been every year.
Yeah.
The Seahawks basically are every year the same team from the Super Bowl, but they get a little worse every, like a very small increment worse.
Yeah.
The defense is a lot of the same cast, but it's like the same cast but a little older.
Mm-hmm.
And the offense is a lot of the same cast, but without minus Golden Tate and Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
So they're basically just the same team. I mean, Lockett is probably their biggest player that wasn't on the Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
Lockett's good.
I mean, they have the boy.
He's
Is it
good.
Darbo or Chesson that they have?
Amara Darbo. I think they have Chesson.
Because I know the Chiefs have the other one. I don't know. I'm a Michigan fan.
I don't know. Yeah. They're both Michigans. They both have very unique names. Amara Darbo and
They're
Jay.
both from the same country in like Africa. I
Where?
forget which country it is. It might be.
They want Michigan. Jim Harbaugh must have just got, or was it? It was probably Brady Hoke at that point, but he just went over to Africa and was like, "These guys can catch balls."
Darbo's the one with the Seahawks. Yeah.
Hello?
They're both from Sierra Leone. Never
Oh,
mind.
yeah,
Anyway,
you might want to cut a little out there because you might just hit spasm. But
oh, what is it? I'm like
Yeah.
kind of swinging my arms around. Anyway,
okay.
never mind. That's not the AFC. That's not the NFC West. That's the Michigan football. We don't talk about Michigan football. Michigan football's
Yeah, we only talk about Michigan State football here.
oh nah.
Yeah, if you want spicy debates, we'll talk about college. But if you want agreeing, we'll talk about the NFL.
Yeah.
That's all there is to say about the West. Let me pull up the games for this week,
Sure thing.
and we can do some predictions.
Let's do some predictions.
I'll read off the games. You say a prediction, then I'll say. And you don't want to predict the Lions game because you're superstitious.
Right. Let's do that one. That'll be kind of like the conclusion, like the last one we do.
Okay, but let's start here with Miami and Atlanta. What do you got?
Miami versus Atlanta. This should be obvious. I don't see there's a way that the Dolphins win this game. I think it's the Falcons should take this game. It should be pretty easy too. Just the way the Dolphins have been playing and the way the Falcons have been playing, I think the Falcons should pretty easily win this game.
Yeah, give me the Falcons by 2 touchdowns.
The Falcons by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, maybe even 3. Maybe 3 touchdowns.
What about the Eagles Panthers game that's happening tomorrow or whenever
Oh,
it's
you
uploaded?
want me to just
Thursday?
go down the list here?
Sure.
Yeah, I have a list of the games, so I'll go down all of them so that we can go in a nice clean order here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Eagles Panthers actually should have been first, but I'll come to that last.
Yeah.
Green Bay, Minnesota. I like Green Bay in this game, even though it's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I like Green Bay by a touchdown because the Minnesota doesn't have much offense.
I like. It all depends on if McKinnon shows up in the way he did against Chicago.
Green Bay's defense is a lot better than Chicago's.
And it also, yes, that's true. It also
Green
depends.
Bay's defense isn't even great, but it's a lot better than Chicago's.
I'm just saying if he shows up in the same way he did.
Yeah.
It also depends on the quarterback they're going to have. If Sam Bradford's actually healthy, if they're going to put Keenum back in there.
Well, yeah.
I don't
You
think.
don't want.
Yeah.
But you don't want to see an unhealthy Sam Bradford because this dude is. I saw this is in the wording of one of the Twitter accounts I follow. He's a statue in the pocket. He can't move
Yeah.
when he can't even move when he's healthy. But when he's hurt. He can't even like bounce around. Like
Watching that game hurt me.
he was set. And I'm not a huge Sam Bradford hater. I'm glad he didn't declare for the draft when the Lions had the first pick, because then we'd be stuck with him. But he's a competent quarterback. But when
Yeah.
with that minor injury that's not fully healed, he looked like he was 50. It was depressing. Whenever you get benched for Keenum, like, and you
I'm
know what,
glad
Keenum's
he
actually
got
played pretty well, so I can't even diss him that much. But
I'm glad he got
if he's healthy, it'll be closer.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I think the Packers win. If he's unhealthy, I'll take the Packers by 2 touchdowns. If he's healthy, I'll take the Packers by 1.
I remember there was a tweet by Robert Griffin who was watching the game, and he was like, "They need to take Bradford out. I've seen people play like that before. This is not a good premonition." Like he was so obviously hurt. He shouldn't have been playing. It hurt to
Yeah,
watch.
there was no way. Should.
My prediction on the game,
Right.
I think the Packers win. I think they win not by much. I think they win by 3. It is in Minnesota. 3 or 4. Give me like it'll be a close game.
Between a field goal and a touchdown.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's my prediction on that game.
our next game here is the Patriots and the Jets, and I'll say I think that in this game, the Patriots reclaim their spot at the throne of that division.
Yeah.
I think the Jets are going to get exposed, and the Patriots are going to prove themselves. Give me the Patriots by 21.
Oh wow, that's a lot. I'm gonna go with the Patriots still. I think they'll beat the Jets pretty handily. I don't see there's a way this Jets team beats the Patriots.
If they do, it'll be exciting.
It'll be really crazy. Everybody that will totally turn the league on its head. Give me the Patriots by 14 in this game.
14, okay. San Francisco, Washington at FedEx in well, it's technically not in DC, but whatever. Give me the Redskins here.
I don't see the way.
Give me the Redskins by 8 touchdown in a pretty high scoring game. I'm not going to say an exact score because I don't have one off the top of my head. But give me the Redskins by 8 touchdown, maybe 10 points in a high score.
I'm gonna say the Redskins score a handful of points. I say they might break the 30 plane. I think they beat the Niners pretty handily, but Hoyer goes out and scores points in garbage time, so it ends up only being like a 12 point. I mean, that's still a lot, but like I think the Redskins win comfortably. I'll take them by like 12.
Okay. Here's the next one. The hard games are coming up soon. These have been mostly the easy ones. Another easy one, Chicago, Baltimore. Baltimore's not great, but I don't know. In Baltimore, I think Trubisky's going to struggle against another pretty good defense.
Yep.
It's going to be fun when Trubisky gets to play bad defense, but so far he hasn't been able to. Give me Baltimore. Baltimore's offense isn't explosive, so give me Baltimore by 3 points to a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Baltimore as well, and I'll give them the same point increment. I'll do 6.
In a low scoring game. I'm going to call this a low scoring game.
Yeah, I think the Ravens will win 18-12. It'll be a score. There's scoregami potential in this game, boys.
Yeah, a lot of field goals, maybe even a safety. Maybe a 1 point safety because the offenses are so bad.
Oh yeah, totally a 1 point safety. We're gonna have that 6-1 game.
That 6-1 game. That honestly, okay. I'm going off on a tangent here, but if I was an NFL quarterback, which I never will be because I'm not skilled at that, but if I scored a game-winning touchdown and I was going for the extra point, I would just take the 1 point safety intentionally for scoregami because it'd be hilarious. But but we're on to Cleveland, Houston.
Houston.
I say, not only do I say Houston wins, I say Deshaun Watson has a game for the ages. We're talking 5-6 touchdowns. We're talking 100 rushing, 300 passing. I say, give me the Texans by 14-21. I think Deshaun Watson is going to go ham.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Texans as well. This game is in Houston. I don't like where the Browns are right now. I think the way that Watson has been playing against average defenses. I mean, the Chiefs' defense isn't anything special, but it's still dropped a lot of points on it. I think that the Texans eclipse 40 again. I think this game is almost a 30-point game. Like, difference.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the first game that I consider a hard game to call, and that's Tampa Bay, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would definitely like Tampa Bay if it wasn't in Arizona. That makes it a little more tricky.
Yeah.
Um, Adrian Peterson's first. You know what? Still give me Tampa.
Yeah.
Tampa's this young, explosive, fast team. Arizona's getting a little older. I don't
Yeah.
think Adrian Peterson's gonna have a great showing. Give me Tampa by 7. Yeah, I'll take
All right.
Tampa.
Yep, I got Tampa Bay as well in this game. I think that Tampa's better team. Obviously, that they're might have a little bit of trouble with that Carolina, Arizona defense. That secondary is really good, and that might cause Winston some troubles. Still, give me the Buccaneers though. I think the Buccaneers take it by a small margin. I'll give them. I'll say it's a 3-point game.
Here's a game I'm absolutely looking forward to if it's on nearby, which I think it will be. No question I'll be watching this game. Los Angeles, Jacksonville.
Oh boy!
Last year, this would have been one of the worst games possible.
This would have been a game
This year,
Thursday night.
this game is awesome. I'm thinking we're going to be looking at a running back battle.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be looking at 100 yards plus running for each team.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be looking at maybe a good defensive coming from Jacksonville, locking up Goff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If it was my prediction, like what I'm saying, like honestly, the team I think is going to win this game.
When I say under 200, I mean for each team. We're looking at a game that. Let me take in Jacksonville. Let me take LA.
Take LA on this one.
By 7-10.
7-10.
Yeah,
I think out of
I like
all
LA.
of the games this week,
I like Sean McVay here.
this one has the most overtime potential.
It also has the most scoregami potential.
Oh yeah, I know. These are. I would want to say this is going to be a shootout, but the Jacksonville Jaguars have only been able to win huge.
Yeah,
when
the
their
thing about a
defense shows up.
shootout here. The thing about the chance of a shootout here is that these are both teams that have subpar passing offenses, and Jacksonville's got a good defense. So
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a shootout.
Right. no, I
Even
don't
though
either.
both these teams have been in shootouts, I don't think this one will be a shootout.
Yeah, I
It
like.
could be. It could be 44-44 by the end of the regulation. But
I want to
we'll see.
take Los Angeles in this one, just because of the trend of Los Angeles or Jacksonville showing up and then not showing up, and back-to-back games. As soon as that pressure gets high, I'm like, oh wow, we've got expectations for this team. They fall off, and so I don't think they win this game. I think it's closer. I think the L.A. Rams take this one by. Oh, what the heck? Let's say 5 points. I'm giving some weird.
give them a weird number just for the sake of LA Rams are scoregami wizards.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
This takes us on to a game that could be good and it could be awful, and that's Pittsburgh, Kansas City.
I expect Kansas City to win.
I expect Kansas City to win, and I expect Big Ben to continue to struggle.
Yep.
The workload is going to go square on Le'Veon's shoulders.
Yep.
Don't be surprised if he has a huge game, but if Le'Veon personally has a huge game, but the Steelers still lose by quite a bit. Because Kansas City is the fastest team in the league.
Yep.
They're one of the deepest teams in the league.
Yep.
They're the best team in the league.
They're really good.
Yeah. Give me Kansas City. Give me Kansas City by 14.
Uh-huh.
And give me a total, just for an extra prediction here, total rushing yards between the two teams of over 300.
Wow.
Because I think that not only is Kareem Hunt alone, that might not be that crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's just 150 for each back.
Yeah.
Which with these two guys is a normal Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kansas City 14 by 14.
For me, I would ultimately take Kansas City. I don't think Pittsburgh is good enough. They are good at competing with whoever they're playing against. The only problem is they'll compete with the Jaguars and the Bears and not compete good enough to win. I think the Chiefs win this game. They're better. They're the better team.
Chiefs are the better team at most facets. I'm not sold on Kareem Hunt being better than Le'Veon just because he has amazing stats.
Right.
Because Le'Veon's been good for so long.
Mhm.
But I am sold on Kareem Hunt still being a very, very good running.
Yep. If I had to predict a score difference on this game, I would say Kansas City wins by 10.
10. All right.
10.
Here's two pretty sad teams. Los Angeles and Oakland. This isn't an easy one. Give me Oakland, just because there's a lot more potential. There's a lot more talent on Oakland, even though that talent really hasn't been here. It could at any second. They could explode at any second.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me just let's say Carr has his best for my prediction. Let's say Carr has his best game of the year so far. Against LA at home, the situation's right. Carr can throw 2 or 3 touchdowns, no picks. I still think Amari's gonna have a bad game because I think Amari's just not. He's just not good this year. I don't really know what happened to him, but some of the other guys in that team can catch the ball. I think Marshawn Lynch will have the LA Chargers run defense isn't that good, so Marshawn Lynch could have a decent game. Give me the Raiders by 10.
I'm going to actually go with the upset here. I'm going to go with the Chargers. It helps that the Chargers aren't playing at home / away, technically, because they don't have any home games. I don't know. The Raiders haven't looked strong. The Chargers aren't as bad as their record shows. They're just kind of suffering from an identity crisis. I think the Chargers win this game. I think it's close. I think they win by 3, but I'm going to take them to beat the Raiders here.
Think they'll make a field goal to win by 3?
That's asking them to make a field goal. That's a long shot.
Yeah. Here we got. I don't know why I just was, but we got a Sunday night bonanza coming up here. Everyone's gonna be super hyped to tune in for New York Denver. Denver by 25 or more.
However,
give me Denver. Give me Denver. I'll give an exact score for this one. Denver 28-0. I don't think the Giants can score on Denver. Who's gonna score?
Give me however many points Denver scores will be the same
0.
exact amount that they win by.
Yeah, I can't even imagine New York scoring, especially in Denver against Von Miller and crew. It's the fact that you've got Chris Harris and Aqib Talib, and neither of those guys are even your player on defense.
Yep.
We're talking Brandon Marshall. We're talking about everyone already knows this, but Denver's just something else. And the Giants with those injuries,
yeah, I don't see.
I said earlier they might have one of the worst offenses in the league. So,
I think.
Give me Denver by however many scores. Give me them by that. I'll say 20-0.
I'm going to also take Denver. I think this is an obvious choice. I don't see a single way the Giants win this game. I don't think this is a trap game. I think the Giants are going to lose. But I want to say it'll be a shutout. I think the Giants post 3. On second thought, I think they'll post 3 points. I think the Broncos will still win by 17, 18 points. I think Denver will put up 21, maybe 24.
Okay.
And I think that'll be the final score.
Let's go to every NFL player's favorite night to play. Let's go to the Thursday night Color Rush game.
Ooh, boy.
Thursday night football is going to die in a couple seasons here.
Oh, yeah, totally. Not if they keep on posting games like this, though, because this is probably the best game of the week.
Yeah, the best game of the week is either this or Los Angeles Jacksonville. But I think we might disagree on this one. We'll see. I know you like the Panthers a lot, but I'm going to take Philly here, even though it's in Carolina. Yeah, the Philly offense, I like it. Wentz is a great young talent. Mm-hmm. They've got some good receivers in rejuvenated Aguilar and Alshon Jeffrey. LeGarrette Blount has been a huge acquisition. The offense I would consider a complete offense, and the defense has got some talent too. The defense isn't too shabby, so give me the Eagles by 7.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I really like the Panthers. I know, again, bias. We got exposed by them on Sunday. Honestly, I haven't felt as hopeless in a football game since the game in 2015 when we played the Cardinals and Stafford got benched. You remember that game?
Yeah, I don't. I actually think I was not home or something during that game because I remember like not that being like one of the only games of the season I didn't watch.
Yeah, lucky you.
Thank goodness, yeah.
Um,
But I definitely heard about it.
Yeah, I haven't felt as hopeless watching that game against Carolina on Sunday. And I thought the Lions were pretty good. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm always skeptical of the Lions. I thought we were pretty good. We got exposed on Sunday by this Carolina team. No discredit to Philadelphia. I think they are one of, if not the most well-rounded football team right now because they have a good offense. They could use a slightly better running game, but that's beside the point.
The running game's not even really that big of a
It's
problem. I mean, it's
really not.
maybe I'd consider average.
Al Aguilar has decided to grow brain cells. They added Alshon Jeffrey. That's a great ad. Of course, as long as he's not on PEDs, it's a good ad. Their offensive line has looked pretty good so far. Their defensive line is one of the best in football. They don't even have back who's his face. I can't remember the name of the guy. They got him from Buffalo, cornerback.
Darby.
Once he gets back, I think they'll be even better. I don't know if he's coming back this week. I don't think he is. Give me the Panthers in this one, though. I think the Panthers are one of the best. I think they're the team to beat in the NFC right now. It's also
I think Philadelphia's the team to beat. So that's why.
This is going to be this could potentially be, if the teams keep playing like this could be an NFC championship preview.
Yeah, my favorites for the NFC championship include these two, as well as Atlanta, Green Bay, and Detroit. I know that's a long list, but that's basically the teams I think
could do it.
Get it there.
Yeah. I like the Panthers.
Like have the ability to get there.
If I had to pick a score, I think. Gosh, I know I said the other game had the most overtime potential. I think this one has a lot of overtime potential too. I don't think this will be a very high scoring game. I think the final score will be. I think it'll be 27-28, and I think the Panthers win.
Okay. Let's move on to the Monday night. That's Indianapolis, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I know that their records aren't far off, and I want you guys to get this. I think Indianapolis is so bad. I don't think they're gonna have to have 2 wins.
2-14?
I think they're coached terribly. I think they win 3 or 4 or like 4 or 5 total in the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're coached poorly. They're banged up. They've got one of the worst offensive lines in football. They've got the former Patriots third-string quarterback who's been better than I think a lot of people expected. Credit to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still, until Luck's back, you're still talking about a backup quarterback, a guy who couldn't even get the job over Tolzien at first.
Yep.
Starting for you. And like I said, he's played well. I mean, young guy, no one really expect from him. T.Y. Hilton's great. The defense is so depthless.
Yeah.
I think Indianapolis is just a pretty dead football team. There's not a lot to them. Luck is Indianapolis.
Yep.
At least they were able to celebrate Peyton Manning's jersey retirement. I'll take Tennessee by 14.
I think the Tennessee is the better team in almost every aspect here. Not much else to say about it. Indianapolis isn't good. I think Tennessee should definitely handily win this game. Give me Tennessee by 17.
Okay.
And we have one more football
Detroit,
game, and we'll
Detroit, New Orleans, which you don't want to talk about.
We'll close it out with this prediction. Forewarning: I don't like predicting Lions games.
You don't have to. I'll go ahead and do this.
I know. I'm just kind of explaining it. Like, I feel like I jinx every time I see a Twitter poll. It's like, oh, who do you think wins? I never vote on it. I feel like I'm jinxing the team. I'm super superstitious when it comes to Lions games. I actually have a theory that every time I have a very specific procedure before every Lions game that if I don't do it, I think they're gonna lose. So yeah, I don't predict games, but nevertheless,
and
Kyle here.
Apart from for the fun of it, I don't believe in any of that. Sometimes I'll be like, sometimes I'll be the guy that's like, I have to sit in that chair because that's where I was when they scored, but I don't mean it seriously. I just do it jokingly. So I'll go ahead here and predict this game. It's in New Orleans. Let me tell you a little something about Detroit, New Orleans. Detroit's really good against New Orleans regularly.
Historical.
The last 3 games they've won. They won last year. It was their only win that was not a fourth quarter comeback.
The only
Yes,
win
you heard that right. A
didn't
playoff team's only win that wasn't a fourth quarter comeback. New Orleans isn't that good.
No.
They've got a high-powered offense. Michael Thomas is great. Drew Brees, obviously a legend, guaranteed Hall of Famer, no question. And if you think that that's not true, stop watching football. The defense is just not good, and the offense is just not deep enough.
Yep.
Give me the Lions by 14.
All right. And
that wraps up our predictions.
Yep.
I just want to talk a little bit about the future of this podcast, because I know that this episode, it's obviously not perfect. We still got some work to do for sure.
Right.
Any feedback that you have, we'll be happy to listen. Any listeners, if you have any feedback, we'll take into consideration anything anyone says, unless we randomly magically blow up and get 4 million views or something. But of course, questions are welcome. If we get questions, we can make that a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just anyone that's listening, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Absolutely.
Future episodes will be recorded, and share it with your friends if you enjoy. Keep coming back for more content. Follow us on Twitter at ComebackCast.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our YouTube, The Comeback, where you're probably watching this. So, share it around. We really appreciate your viewership.
Absolutely.
And unless Avery here has anything to say, I'll see you.
Yep. Have a good rest of your week. We'll be back around this time next week with more hot takes, spit more fire about the NFL and the Detroit Lions and our perspective.
Takes better than Skip Bayless. The bar's really low, but you know it's true. They're better takes than Skip Bayless and Nick Wright. Because the bar is still also really low. Those are. This is a total tangent, but let me just say something about Skip Bayless and Nick Wright. They make equally bad takes, but at least Skip Bayless is entertaining. Nick Wright, I don't even want to get off on Nick Wright. All right. Let me just stop talking about that and wrap this up. I'll see you guys.
Yeah.
In the next episode.
Have a good rest of your week, everybody.